Santosh Rao is Head of Research at Manhattan Venture Partners. Always great to have you on the show.
Great.
Let me ask you, what do you think the signs were that this extension of the truce was always going to happen?
Yeah, I think great to be here. Great to see you. I think what exactly happened is I think America has seen that just riding roughshod over every country does not work. He's managed to get the other countries, subdue other countries, or get whatever he wants. But I think with China, they have, in fact, if you look at it, the optics of it, I think China has won in this case. They did not give in. They said, we need to negotiate. And finally, U.S. has come back to the table. And this was kind of expected. There was no way that he was going to go ahead with all this huge tariffs on China. There's a huge deficit. So China was going to work it out. I think the net, I think it's a huge positive for the retailer ahead of the busy season coming up, holiday, the buying. So I think it's net positive, and what that is going to do is it's just going to set a pace, maybe more rationality, more consensus in terms of where to go with it, and not just any random punishing every country for doing something that's totally not their fault. So things like that. So a lot of things. I think to begin with, this is a good thing. I think China. If you want to ask who won in this thing, I think China comes ahead.
This is the thing, you say these huge tariff increases have been avoided. If the deadline wasn't extended, what would we be looking at in terms of risk?
Oh, yeah. If it's not extended, then there's going to be tremendous pressure on the retailer, on prices across the board. And inflation on the headline basis, it's down because of energy and food prices came down. But on the core basis, it's up. Yeah. It's up quite a bit. So I think inflation is still an issue. So maybe it's not growing very fast, but it's still there. So they don't want that. And if they continue, if he imposes these tariffs in November, it's going to really spike up in prices, spike up inflation in the U.S. So he doesn't want that. So net, I would say it would have been bad. It will be bad. I have a feeling it will be extended further if needed. But both countries cannot afford the disruption that this is going to cause if both countries keep their stand.
Do you think this is just going to keep on happening until the hoped-for summit between President Xi and President Trump happens?
I'm absolutely in that camp. I think that's where it's going because there's just so much at stake here. You just cannot impose tariffs for a country like China, which is a huge player and has the full BRICS behind them, BRIC countries. So I think it's going to reorder the global order especially. So I don't think U.S. wants to risk that on one hand, on the political side. But overall, I think U.S. needs the rare earth materials and many other things from China, which are very key to the future of U.S. economy and the global economy to some extent. So I think there's a lot more at stake for U.S. to just kind of end it here, end it there, and not go forward. But there's enough breathing room now. We got 90 days. They'll talk and talk and talk till they come to some kind of a meaningful middle ground, if not some off-ramp for both countries to say that they won on this one. So I think that's what's going on. There's nationalism involved. There's a lot of pride involved. And the way he negotiates is almost humiliating for countries to to go along. So, but they do it because they have to do it, smaller countries. But China and India and all, they don't need to just go along with anything. They have a lot at stake. They're the biggest economies, huge economies after U.S. So they're not going to just lie down and take it. They're going to fight it back. And that's what they're doing. And they're getting it that way. So I think there will be some kind of a settlement down the road.